All right, guys. So we're back with part two on how to do a light hip hop cue, and I haven't heard it since yesterday, and so we're just going to dive right in and just see what we can hear. But today we're pretty much going to wrap it up. We're going to get our first mix out the door. So you'll see all the stuff that I just do to just get that first mix out the door, and then we have a listen with fresh ears tomorrow or this afternoon, and we see what it needs tweaking and. A couple of mixes later, and I think we're good to go. So today we're just going to be arranging, muting things, adding extra little things, but not too much re-recording or recording anything. But anyway, enough talk. Let's dive right in. All right, let me share my screen here. All right, cool. So make sure it's on stereo. Okay, cool. So let's have a listen. Let's see what we got. Oops. That delay is pretty cool. I'd like it a little louder. Let's see what the delay is here. Yeah, I'm just going to cut something out there. Doing lots of these little stops is key to kind of keep things feel like something's moving. So I'm just going to automate some volume there on that piano. That might sound good if I do this reverse cymbal thing. So over here I was hearing I need a couple of risers and a couple little reverse cymbals. So I'm just going to go to Splice again. We'll see what we have. I'm going to have I'm just going to type up reverse cymbal or something. Reverse, see what comes up. Might be a bit too long. I like that. Let's grab that. What else we got? Let's just do reverse cymbal. I like that a lot too. I forgot what the other one we use. Where it is. Okay, add that. And the other one. Is this one? It's a little bit longer. That's the one we just got. Yeah, I think both of those together might be nice. Let's put it on the bottom here. There they are. All right, so bring them up here to the drums area. Now I want to make this a crescendo into kind of has a little bit of a delay, or I want it right on. Yeah, so it kind of you hear it double hit. Gotta get rid of that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. The tiniest will fade there. I think that'd be good. So I'm just going to print this. Or I should say consolidate that. So now we have this. Oops. I'll come back to that. Let's do the same with this. So we'll keep one. Reverse this one. Oh, hang on. I must have already reversed it. That could be cool. That's fine. We'll see if it needs tweaking later. It doesn't, it kind of holds up there. You can see it goes up and holds. So I don't know if that's, we'll see. We come back and tweak it. All right, so let's have a listen. I don't think that's right on the grid. Let's try that. Put a little bit of reverb on it. Send it to the reverb. Just a little bit. Now, where was that cut we did it over here? Maybe I will drop those down to the and I'll get rid of some of those. No way, I like them. So I wanted to, I might drop some reverb here. Oh, it's sending, so I gotta drop the... And there, I won't use one of these. I will just use a so I got this one over here. I'm gonna reverse that one back to just a normal hit. Oops, something happened there. Oh, it's muted. Just a normal hit. All right, so we need one more part up here. So let's just add like a bell or something. So I'm just going ding, 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 or something. Let's just copy this part up here. We are going to go to a bell or a ding. I'm gonna call it a ding. All right, so let's find something. We got it's like a percussive thing. I'm thinking tambourine or something like that, but tambourine's too organic. So some sort of sound. What is there something in a drum loop? Thing. That might work. It's a little too much, but let's just see what that sounds like. Australian. Okay, we're in G. Not really the sound I was going for. This might actually work in the second part. Yeah, it's not really the sound that works, but it keeps building. It's only coming in on that last part. I just want a ding. Like almost like a ride or something. Let's give it a ride. No, I don't need extra rhythms. Not a kick. Rides, there we go. Might be cool. Yeah, that's cool. That's a little bit of the idea I had. Cool. Okay. So we have some reverse. Let's put a reverse symbol at that end. That's good. That's a great ending. All right, so let's have a look from the top. I'm listening to a snare. I thought I heard a snare yesterday that I liked, but I didn't grab it at the time, which that's a good lesson. If you hear a sound you like, just grab it. I can't remember where it was. To go back to the video, but I could try and find. I printed these down too. I think it was in one of these things, but I printed it down, so I'd have to go back over here to find out where it was. Let's just do it quick. Make that track active. Push save. Always save whenever you think about it. Okay, yeah, so it's one of these snares over here. I've been that one. Let's see where that would come in. Maybe the beginning. Oops. That doesn't. Yeah, I do like that. It's like a little, I might even put it before a hit. So one thing I'm going to do here is I'm just going to copy this 3 times. What is that? The hats. So over here, I'm just going to do that little kick, that little snare, I should say. Yeah, that's what I want. like the other one. I'm just turning up all the volumes, all the velocities, so they're exactly the same. Where are we? And I might add a few more. Oh, did I not quantize this? Oh, it needs to be 32. Alright, just drag that down, make it audio. Delete that now. Let's just do that snare. Alright, so that's just going to be going in the so we need yeah, I love that little snare. That little maybe lint drum, I think. Tiny little snare. A bit more reverb on that bigger snare. No, actually. I don't want that to happen. Here's a cool little trick. I like this little trick here. Let's just see. We only need about that much. You can just commit that. We're going to commit that effect of that reverb. See if that reverb prints. No, I didn't. So you got to go. See if this works. No, you have to put a reverb on it. Or print that, solder that, and just print this reverb. I'll just do that real quick because I do want the same reverb. Or you could bounce it too. Let's just bounce it. Solder that, bounce it. Verb snare. It's maybe more a clap. Verbs clap. Import after bounce. Yes, don't worry about embed 3. There it is. So it's got a bit of that reverb on it. I guess we didn't need to do the reverb, but many different ways to get where we want to go. So now we're going to reverse that. So just during these parts here, so we're only going to do it on the 4th one. Yes, that's so cool. All right, delay drums. So we're only going to do it on the 4th one then. All right, so we're just going to add a few extra snares in here. Go back to something 16 or something. Oops, that's not the 16. All right, let's hit it right on. I'm going to do one there, one there, one there. Let's see. Great. So we'll add a few more of these as well in here. Maybe that'll sound gooder at the end. I don't know. Let's add another one in here somewhere. Yeah, that's better. That's better. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a slight little yes, just a little bit of a as it gets bigger. Cool. All right, cool. I think we're ready to start heading off to mixing now. All right, so let's make sure everything's in the right places. That's the first thing. Just this is kind of like a setting up thing. Get rid of stuff that we don't need. We don't have any electric guitar in this. Delete that. We have some piano. We don't have acoustic guitars. Clean that up. Get rid of that. We have the melody. LV is my main lead vocal or lead melody, so that's what I'll mute when I have the no melody version. We got piano in here. We have bass. We have drums. Everything's going to drums, 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 drums. Lots of drums. Good. Let's just hide that. Now, okay, so everything's going to the right channels. Everything's going to drums, bass, piano. Let's just change that color so we can just identify it real quick. So we have piano, and then we got lead melodies on all this stuff here. So that goes to the verb. We've got strings. I don't think anything's going to strings. It's going to piano instead. Get rid of that. We've got drums. We've got a parallel compression kind of effect thing on this. That's the 10 to 2 all in on a 1176, and that's down pretty low, but it just squashes the drums, really squashes it, and then it just gives it this little presence in between, underneath. It's like just fattens it out. Can't really hear it, but you hear it without it. Then we've got bass, we've got piano. Good, I think we're here. All right, so everything's here. Now let's go ahead and clean some stuff up. If it does, I'm just going to put a low cut or a high pass filter on everything that doesn't need it right from the beginning. So we got a snare here. Definitely need it. So you can see that there's a little bit of stuff was here. There's a tiny bit. That adds up. If it's on every track, it actually starts adding up. And so cutting it out makes your track so much cleaner. That snare needs a little bit. Look at that, it's got all this slow stuff down there. I don't want any of that. I only want to hear my kick nice and clean, nice and clear. So all that stuff that's going to be happening in that snare or the hand clap, I don't want that. That all adds up, so we don't want that. And what else we got here on this other burst? Yep. Let's make sure it mix really clean. So let's just EQing. What else we got here? We got like great. Very cool. All right, so these piano synth sounds. So I want to get rid of that reverb there. I'm actually going to take that out of the send down here. Maybe not that. I might even do a stop there. Yeah. It just gives it that little extra dynamics, you know, from going nothing up to something big. Cool. All right, so let's just do a fade on that that sci-fi sound and the piano. I'll do a fade on that one too. Nice. Okay, cool. So I think we're there. Let's just have a look at some of the mixing here, some of the compression levels. I also want to make it clean here. It already has a low cut on it, so 560. No reverb is going to be getting into that low range and mudding things up. So that's good to know. That's nice. It's always nice to have that. Make sure you do a low cut on your reverb if you want clarity. right, so a little bit of the stuff that I'm doing here, I'm just making sure that these are my subgroups. I've taken care of most of the sound that I want inside of the actual sessions. You know, I've put a little bit of when you're dealing with samples, you don't need that much compression, and as you can see, I'm not putting really much if any compression on all of these. They've already got compression in them when they're printed out as samples. You know, somebody's already tweaked those sounds, and I'm just kind of putting together and EQing. So you'll see that I've got EQ on a lot of them, as we talked about before, and a little bit of reverb, but I haven't got really any compression. And now we're running them together, all together into a subgroup. So I do start tweaking a little bit of the compression and make sure that we're touching and getting some of those big transients out, or some of those big hits out. Let's just have a listen. You know, this stab here, I am going to put that on its own bus. So I'm going to put that on its own bus because I don't want, when I do my non-melodic version or the no melody version, I want to keep that in there. Shouldn't actually be I don't know why I thought it was ever. But anyway. Okay, so as I said, I'm just getting those compressors just to kind of kiss the faders, and of course my magic number is -3. Don't go any further than -3 in gain reduction. Don't, because that's kind of like the key, and that's why I have this set at 3, because I try not to reduce anything by less than 3. So if it does, it's actually turned back up. So and then this over here, I have everything from my bus channels going to another bus, which is my mix bus. And so this is kind of like, I guess you'd call a board mix, you know, or this is going to mixing off the board in the session, and, you know, before it goes to the mastering. So that's kind of like how my thinking is. So on this mix bus here, again, no more than -3. This is kind of gluing everything together. I love this plugin. It's really cool. I've been using this for quite a few years now. I really like it. If you want a little bit more drive, can crank it up a little bit more glue, bass, or treble. So it's kind of very musical overall sounding on your mix bus. Don't go anything more than -3 in dB in gain reduction. Okay, so and then we go from there into the mastering chain. And so the mastering chain, this here is set up for an external EQ that I have called the Michelangelo. It's really cool, but I'm not going to use that in this session. So just get rid of that, and we are going to the Fairchild or Piug Child by Jack Joseph Piug. This is really cool. Now, somebody asked the other day. They said that I wasn't doing anything down on the right channel, only left channel. I have this in linked. So when it's in linked, whatever you do here, even though this doesn't actually move, it is changing it. So it's kind of like stereo for that one. I run into my favorite back EQ. Just take a little bit of there's just some settings that I have. Steve's light mastering. It's just like a start. I spent some time dialing it in, and then I'm happy with just something that's very general, and I can tweak it if it needs to. But of course, we're fixing stuff in the mix or in the actual session, not in the mastering. So we're just adding touches of stuff. This is my setup again. Mono Maker is really cool. I've got that set about 144. Stereo width just a little bit over, like 13% over. It's 113, so it's right in the middle, but I'll just add a little bit over. That's fine. Okay, and then and this is a great plugin I love for mastering. It's a very nice. I wouldn't even mind getting this unit here. It's really nice. We don't want to be doing any more than -3, so watch those faders when it comes up. This has two compressors on it. It's got the optical one and a discrete one, which is over here. That's the fader for that. Again, Steve start nickel. That means I've got the nickel set in here. So anyway, so that's anyway. So I've as I said, I've spent the time to dial in a general setting that I like. All right, and this is just my limiter. Always get a good limiter, and limiters are very important. So let's go back, and I'll pull up that Shadow Hills in your hearing. Too much. Too much. Now, one thing I do sometimes is, if I'm not quite trusting my ears, this is a great little trick. In this digital day and age, you can use this. You can use your ears, of course. Your ears are the boss. Your ears are king, but you can also use visual. Now, on a good mix, I shouldn't say a good mix. I should just say you want things, when you're mixing, you want it to be balanced. So if you're not quite sure what you're hearing, you can hear it as well. We want a bit more of a balanced frequency range. We don't want huge big dips in coming down here, or peaks going up there. We want something that's looks very kind of balanced. That will help us out a lot. So let's have a listen to see how balanced we are. As an example, if I played that middle section there, it's unbalanced, and we all know that because it's the middle section. But you'll hear it's like not much going on in the middle. Now we get to the main section. One other thing I'm looking at here is the snare is actually triggering the limiter. So that means the snare, and sometimes headphones will do this to you, or if your ears are getting a bit fatigued, you're not quite hearing certain instruments. They've just been loud the whole time, and you haven't really, not until you get fresh ears, you're like, oh, listen how loud that snare or that clap is. So I'm watching here every single time that snap that I just added, comes in, it's triggering the limiter, and it's going up by -5, and it's too much. So instead of trying to dial this in here, which is what I'd have to do in mastering, I can go back to the actual original clap and just turn it down 1 or 2 dB. Yep, so whenever I get to that reversed one, it's just too loud. So let's just turn that down. I turn this down by a couple of dB, turn this down by 4 or 5 dB. Now listen. Yep. All right, so now you're looking over here at my you can see the frequency range here. I can see that I'm a little bit too bassy, and that's another thing. Headphones it's not as clear unless you really mix on headphones a lot. But for me, you know, I don't usually mix on headphones, so I can tell that that's pretty bassy. So I'm actually just going to trim back the kick and bass just a little bit more on this first mix. Okay, I'm a lot happy with that visually, and my ears probably need a rest. So I'm like, I think visually, I think that's great. I'll play it one more time. In hip hop, you will find there's obviously a lot of a kick, a lot of energy happening down that low. You know, the people's speakers are like boom, 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 you know, that's driving along in their car and all that. So we've taken a little bit of, you can see that hasn't got as much energy in that mid section or low mid lows. But keep in mind, we were trying to go light, weren't we? So you can't tell always by the EQ, but that will tell me a little bit of a end result of why that's maybe not it shouldn't be a straight line. And what you should do, actually, if you have this EQ or any analyzer, pull up your favorite song and you'll see where they sit. You know, they're pretty full, especially if it's a pop song, or they've got all the frequencies covered. There's not many holes. It's really thick right across. So anyway, all right, so let's bounce this down. Let's give it a title, set up the ins and outs. Yeah, that ending's needs a bit of work. That's a lot better. I'm happy with that. Cool. Sometimes when it does this, you gotta mute that as well. Cool. All right, let's go ahead and bounce it down. What kind of name are we going to give this? Something light, something hip hop. Maybe City Lights. I'm gonna get to the right session. Oh, well, anyway, we're ready to bounce down. So we'll bounce that down in a second here. All right, guys. Well, hopefully that's been helpful. That's how you create a light urban hip hop kind of track. And so these get used tons and tons and tons. So keep in mind, you know, just keep practicing and keep trying new sounds, keep listening to what's out there first, and then you're coming back and you're always tweaking your stuff as you go. Lots and lots of stuff you can do, lots and lots of tricks and you know, little like that reverse snare or reverse clap. Those are cool ear candy things you can add as the song builds and as the tracks build. But hopefully that's been helpful. Let me know if it has. I always like hearing your stories, and let me know, share a track that you've written. Share, you know, on let people know, especially in the comments on YouTube here. You know, share if it's your track. I'd love to hear it, and yeah, and other people would love to hear it too. So awesome, guys. Well, hopefully that's been helpful, and we will see you in the next one.